Okay, state your name.
My name is Omar Bowers, and I am Jala Bowers' brother.
Okay, so where are you from, which neighborhood, and how long have you lived in Chicago?
I'm from Chicago. I grew up over east, and I lived in Chicago all my life.
What role do you play in your community?
Um, I guess the role I play in my community is just, I don't know, I'm just here. I just go to school, and I just try to just be
Hmm.
just a good person, really.
So how would you define a community?
A community is a group of people that live in the same area and that have the same goals.
Okay, how have you been impacted by your community?
Well, I've been impacted by my community just because it's just pretty much really not everything that I know, but most of the things that I know is from my community. And without my community, I wouldn't be where I'm at now.
Right. So how would your life be different if you lived in a different city or town?
Well, I guess it depends really on where I lived. If I live in, you know, it just depends on where I'm from. If I live in Naperville or something, then my education might be better. I might be at a better school, might have more money. But if I lived in somewhere worse, then my situation could be worse.
So if you could change anything about your community, what would it be?
I would try and add, well, one, just try to balance it out just in terms of, one thing I could say is the schools, just try to have the schools all on equal levels. And besides that, really just try to get rid of some of the violence that we have.
Why?
Well, why? Because a lot of innocent people get killed on a day-to-day basis, and it's just not right.
Okay. How would you think your community is viewed by others?
I think we all share the same viewpoint that Chicago is violent, but also think that it's so much to Chicago just besides the violence. So it just depends really on what you're talking about.
And why do you say that?
I say that because the city got so much to offer, like good food, music, culture, just all type of things. But violence is definitely a big part of it.
So if you think this view is wrong or unfair, is there a way to change how your community is viewed by others?
Well, I guess the main thing really is to change is to try and limit the amount of violence we have, but also it just depends on who controls the media.
Hmm.
Certain organizations, certain businesses control the media, and if they want to show a violent aspect of it, that's what they're gonna show. That's what people want to see. Living in Chicago, I see the full part of Chicago
Right.
instead of just the violence.
Okay. So all cities have to deal with issues like violence. How does the issue of violence in Chicago compare to other major cities?
I don't think it's all that different. A lot of major cities have violence just because it's just such a big amount of people. So it's hard to really make it to limit the violence. So I think we share the same characteristics. I think it just
Hmm.
varies just depending on the level.
And what are the top three issues, concerns, etc., that you would like to address and start a dialogue with your community about?
Well, obviously like violence and specifically shootings,
Hmm.
um, poverty, and really just schooling.
Okay. If you were in charge of the media, what would you show? What would you do to change the perception of how people view you and your community?
If I was controlling the media, I would try not to be biased. I was try to show just general news and not have a biased opinion. You look at certain major news company. I'm not gonna name them, but they have specific agendas.